Hello guys, and welcome to another episode, maybe, probably, hopefully, the last episode of our Greater German Empire campaign here in Victoria 2 with the historical flavor mod. So yes, things are finally coming to an end, and my armies are stuck over in the middle of nowhere. Also, I found the Russian capital. It's in Archangelsk, although that probably means that even if I wanted to think about grabbing these territories, that's just not going to happen. And I really do doubt that we have the war score to do this. I would be very surprised if that became the case. And in any case, I would need to release Karelia for borders. Because this like little snake here, this is no good. No good at all. And so we must solve it. We're not quite to the point where we can actually declare on the... Yep, thank you. We're not quite at the point where we can actually declare on the Russians though. We still have truce, which means we have to keep rejecting Romanian demands for peace. But that's okay. We are well within our capabilities of doing so. And the Captain Finns are still allied with... I mean, dude, how many times do I have to like invade your ass before you realize that maybe, just maybe, it isn't really worth it? Also, what was that? Oh, 7% Norwegian. Interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll look at some more demographic rubbish. Oh. Did the game crash? Nope, that's just a huge lag spike. Yeah. Welcome to late game Vicky. Alright, laddies and ladettes. Time for our final war with Russia. I'm feeling a bit conflicted though, because I do know I need to release Karelia. And looking up on the internet, I could see nothing talking about how Karelia will actually be released, so I'm really fearing that it won't. And I'm also a bit scared what will happen, because you do get like a predetermined treaty between Germany and Russia if you do dismantle. What I did read though, is what I really should have done is that I really should have actually... Oh. Yeah, but I really should have puppeted Finland, because if Finland has a truce with Russia, then Finland gets cores on these lands. Although I don't actually think they get them, so I guess it wouldn't really have mattered. But, oh well. Basically, though, I don't think I'm going to dismantle Russia. I dare not, just in case. Just in case. I don't want to fuck something up right now, you know? We've gotten this far, and I don't want everything to get fucked by this. Also, what is this? Control. Okay. That's cool. But yeah. I take that, and we can statify a lot of things. Oh, rest in peace. Also, why can I even do that? There's no... There should at least not be any Germans here. Although we can make a state in Kaiser Wilhelmsland, yeah! That obviously is good. And Cameroon, yeah, we do have some Germans here that moved over here before we sort of banned migration in general, so that makes actually a bit of sense. Gonna click these buttons, hopefully for the last time. And then we will free our... I don't know. I mean, most of this vast majority of this is Russian at this point, so I'm not really sure who we're freeing here. But who knows, maybe these guys can do some ethnic adjustments, let's call it that. So Karelia Libre is what I say. Our friends will join us, and our thickness will spread. And I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I feel like I'm going insane. Fuck, I'm not even bordering the Finnish. Come on. Join the war, because I know you're gonna do that because you're a moron. And just go in. Yeah, I don't need to show you guys this. We have done this quite a lot of times at this point, and so this isn't going to be anything new. So interestingly enough, we can't even dismantle them. I guess that's because they're a secondary power. I could have sworn we were able to do that before, but maybe I just didn't pay attention. Regardless, from what I can see, any interesting states to release from them, Kamchatka, etc., it's too expensive. And this taking Galich or taking any of these areas, it's like, what, 58 war square I think it was? Yeah, well, you can take my word on that. Basically, I think we're actually going to just peace out here. Now, I didn't actually prepare properly for this, so we don't have any other wars going on right now, but I actually think that we're just going to let that be. It would be kind of fitting to end the campaign without, you know, being Billy and Infamy, I was going to say in debt, but, you know, by actually getting that event that reduces your infamy back down. I think that would be kind of nice. And so this will be our final borders, I think. So we are finally going to let the German people rest a bit, you know. So much death, so much horror has been brought upon this world, and maybe I should have made it a puppet, but once again, oh, nice flag. But yeah, no. Let's just have peace. I think I've set out to achieve, or I would say I've achieved more than I wanted. The original goal was to, you know, to get borders, something like this. This was the original goal with the whole, because a lot of this was planned with the whole Ukraine exploit in mind. But we were able to push quite far beyond that. Not to the Urals, mind you, but to be fair, I question whether or not that's even possible. I'm sure you can do some further strategies that I do not know of that could push your blob even further than I did here, but I think for now this is where we will leave it. And yes, keep it good with the Armenians, I guess. There we go. And there it is. The war is over. Long live the German Empire. Feels good, man. Hey, pop growth. In fucking Botswana land? No, fuck that. Well, then again, it's not like the other colonial migration thing would matter. We don't legally allow that shit. The Norwegian plebiscite. Well, I don't know. I mean, can I say no? Can I say no? I might have forced Norway to be a puppet, but I guess they must be free. Sure, Norway, you can be independent. That's cool. I mean, you're in my sphere, so we cool. We cool. At this point, it's cool. We're cool. Oh, genocide. Never mind. Let's commit one last war crime before all of this wraps up. Let's see. So that will last until 35. Ooh, that's going to be cutting it close. But it should be just within the... Yeah, we got a pretty unlucky on that. Yeah, I don't think that could have gotten any worse, but I think we're just within our limits there, to where it will trigger before the game is, well, game over, so. And yes, got that sweet, yeah. I mean, sure, 12-hour work there. That should calm them down to an extent. Oh, yep. Kurdish nationalists, huh? Well, God damn you, Erdogan, fucking watermelon seller. Some other meme. I can't think of anything super... I mean, at this point, by the time I release this video, then the whole Kurdistan meme might not be... I say Kurdistan meme, but, you know, the Kurds might not be in the news anymore, so I don't know if what I'm saying is... or trying to be relevant here is... I'm gonna shut up. Oh, god damn it. So a crisis just happened, giving Silesia independence. Well, that fucking ruins my borders, doesn't it? Well, not my borders, but it ruins the Turkish borders. Fuck! I didn't need that right now. Well, are these Kurds? No, Kurds are dead. Okay, well. Rest in... fuck. The German Empire stands triumphant. Yes, we have really once and for all proven that no nation can stand in the German Empire's way. We will do as we please, and no amount of objection from the so-called great powers of the world. To be fair though, none of them actually bothered. None of them actually bothered trying to hurt me. Also, I'm hurting myself more than the allies ever would. But yeah, no, yeah, none of them even bothered trying this time. So, I'm not really 100% sure. Also, I'm surprised that France isn't fascist yet. I mean, the majority of the people is fascist at this point. But there we go. We're no longer an international pariah. We still have international sanctions and rubbish, but yeah. We are now a internationally recognized thick boy. Feels good, man. Of course, enforce German curricula. If you don't speak German, you might as well not be human. Except for Norway. They can be friends. I'm not biased at all. Why do you even... Why would you even suggest that? Alright. Time for the final war crime of the of the Let's Play. Yeah, that worked out quite well. So this is how things look before the button. I mean, we've honestly done some nice, like, colonization down in the Caucasus, even, well, at least since the last time we looked at the map. Also look at the Hungary. Okay, no, don't get distracted now. We'll look at this once we have reached the last day of the playthrough, he says, and then gets distracted by Brazil, which I can remove from Spain's sphere. Okay, well, sure. Sure. I guess we're doing that. But yeah, let's see. We have 216 million. Once the button is clicked, we yeeted, yeah, 6 million of them. And this shit is pretty darn German at this point, except for this particular province that just couldn't be bothered. It actually is majority German, but because of the whole north-south German thing, that didn't really work out. But hey, Moscow is majority German. I should, and I am, at least satisfied that that was achieved. So, see, boys and girls, I guess the moral of the story is Nazism is a meme. You can achieve more war crimes with the Imperial... No, that's not a very good moral of the story, is it? Yeah, no, let's just get to the let's just get to the last date, and then we'll have a look around the world to see how the, you know, how things ended up. And there we are. That is the final end of the Greater German End. Fucking the Greater German campaign. Fucking it up. I mean, that I don't know. There's something appropriate about me fucking up, saying Greater German Empire campaign has come to an end as we are ending. So here we stand. These are going to be the final borders in Europe. So yeah, I guess we'll have a look through the world as we usually do at the end of my Victoria 2 campaigns to see what kind of demographic, political and whatnot changes have been going on throughout the lands. So we can start with Europe. We should be rather familiar with this. We got obviously the thick German Empire. We got our, well, you know, our puppets in Scandinavia. I had to give the, well, I didn't have to do anything, but I did give the Norwegians independence because they are awesome. Once again, no bias. Yeah, you know the situation in Iberia, France, Britain, Ireland, etc. I don't think any of this is too interesting. Africa is, well, it's this thing. So we got two independent English-based nations. Yeah, I mean, Rhodesia is pretty darn English, I would say. Salisbury, at least a bit more English than it was historically. Honestly, they should just rename themselves to just Rhodesia at this point. But I guess it is up to them. So yeah, we got most of Africa. If I wanted to, I probably could have gotten, well, I most definitely could have gotten, you know, these little enclaves here. I'm not sure if I could have gotten all of this, although I probably could have. Don't think I could have gotten, no, I definitely could not have gotten all of South Africa, so a full Africa annexation was not really ever in the picture. But then again, the color of the Union of South Africa is rather similar to mine, so it would have looked nice. But once again, it's just like, it doesn't really matter. Like the final screenshot that one would potentially post to Reddit or something, it would be this, you know. This was just a side effect of this cancer. Same goes with our absolute shenanigans colonies throughout Asia. Most of this was not something I intentionally desired to conquer. It was just a side effect of my shenanigans in Europe. China never managed to unify. I was thinking maybe that some of these pan-nationalists would have triggered like a unification type thing, but that never happened. These guys are not the first ones to be occupied by pan-nationalists. That was a thing for a bunch of other boys too. Well, I guess this part has become a part of the Empire of China, but yeah, Middle East, you know how that looked. We probably could have annexed Rajputana and Bundelkhand once again. We did annex Guyana though, so that's the thing. I had never actually bothered to take my troops away. So we got that little thing. Most of it, well, actually, oh, I guess we just killed everyone over here. This part is German though, so okay, I'm not really sure how this place turned German by the end of the game. I thought that wasn't even legal. I guess maybe some German migrants came here before I conquered it or something. America, North America, completely normal, other than the lack of any British holdings, and of course German Cuba. We got these, yeah, I don't know what causes Bolivia to always get this, well, not always get this, but they seem to have this tendency to annex this shit instead of, you know, shit that would make more sense, like, oh, they don't even have cores on, no, they don't. I guess certain Bolivians would disagree with that. So that is the political situation in the world. Now then, let's look at the final screenshot, or final video, I guess in this case, of the ethnic situation. Once again, I'm a bit annoyed at this this Russian enclave in Ryazan, but I don't know. These things happen. So the East is a bit of a mosaic of different German cultures: South German, North German, Eastern German, and even Transylvanian Saxon down in Moldova. The Hungarians also, yeah, they even got this province mostly assimilated, or at least, you know, migrated. I don't know what you will call. I don't know what you want to call it. Yeah, they actually have some significant Hungarian minorities in a lot of these provinces. They even managed to get a majority going in Zenj. Good for them. I think this is this. Yeah, I think this is where the modern day capital of Slovakia is, and it was also a historic capital of Hungary during the Habsburg era, so I guess there's a certain appropriateness to it being Hungarian in this timeline where Slovakia never got to be a thing. Yeah, you better thank me, Hungary. But yeah, they did quite well. They did quite well. Like, these three provinces are like clearly Hungarian colored. I'm honestly pretty proud. Because they didn't have any special modifiers or anything. They just, you know, they just owned it for a long time, and the primary culture got preferential treatment, or I guess. Italy, on the other hand, tried, but yeah, never got any majorities in the territories they took from France during the Great War. And of course we still have these microstates, just making the whole Italian project look a bit ugly. France never quite got around to unifying their shits, so I forget, did they even take the French language schooling thing? I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, Britain is just a mess. This usually happens, so there's nothing abnormal here. Although there's no longer any English stripes in our mug, so I don't know if that's because English people are assimilating, because the English do not have course on this anymore. But yeah, the only majority Welsh province is Cardigan. Is that related to... let's not... I don't know. But yeah, we of course got, you know, almost Irish majority Leeds. Everyone knows the history of Leeds and knows that that makes sense. It's kind of sad to say, but the Bretons never could get rid of... Oh, yeah, France still has course on this. Did I ever... Yeah, I must have dismantled France, right? I don't know. Still though, Algeria is pretty French, although... Well, it says that, but it seems like I actually just literally just murdered everyone. So... Shit, I should have opened my borders, actually, by the end here. So that I could have tried and maybe turn this German, because it would have taken like a single pop for that to happen. But yeah, we got some Germans lurking over here. Obviously, yeah, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these orange provinces are just provinces with no people, because I hit the genocide button a bit too hard. But yeah, we got, yep, that's quite a lot of dead. Yeah, that's nothing too hard. Well, okay, well, Yeah, Canada's a mess. America is a mess. They usually are. South America is unextraordinary, I guess, other than the fact that these traditionally Argentinian provinces are to an extent South Andean, specifically Bolivian South Andean. Australia, yeah, it doesn't seem like they ever got any immigrants, so a lot of provinces are just 100% Aboriginal. Got some Germans over here though, and of course, German fucking Philippines. Oh yeah, boy. So we actually created, well, I mean the Italians created this homeland for the Armenians. So yeah, the Armenians have two homelands, although the actual amount of Armenians in their homelands aren't that vast compared to the actual, you know, total amount of population. But oh well, they got a homeland. Once again, I would have preferred if I could have given, yeah, all of the Armenia province to Armenia, as well as Ganja, Adam, and Lankaran. I think that could have made for some decent borders along this little river here that I do not know the name of. As long as I could have kept Baku, but there's no gameplay ways to specifically do that, and because of the whole fact that taking this province was good for in terms of war score when I did it, it just worked out this way. So oh well, these things happen. Quite a lot of Portuguese boys in Dili, in East Timor. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of anything specific. In terms of states, we statified a decent chunk of Africa. A lot of this should be inherited from the British, but yeah, especially this Indian stuff, and obviously we just straight up conquered Sean here. So that was not really any of our own doing. So yeah, we unintentionally just ended up genociding a bunch of people who I never intended to, but oh well. I guess genocide happens from time to time. And I think in my next campaign I'm going to try and play HPM. And genocide has been changed quite a bit there. I don't know if I'm going to do any of that next campaign, but like you select genocide by like per culture instead of just doing a general genocide. So it's going to be interesting to look. I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to updating culture change mod for the new HPM, because genocide has become so complicated there, so I don't know if that's like something I can actually pull off, because I'm still not very good at modding, as you can see by the awkward take capital thing here. Yeah, you can also see that I do have the no more war modifier, but I guess I forgot to include this in the type of CB you're not allowed to take. Although, yeah, I'm not really sure why that's allowed, but once again, that was just me straight up cheating so that I could take Moscow. But once again, I do argue that it's stupid that you can't take capitals in this, so I would argue that wasn't my worst crime, although I guess with the amount of crimes I've done in this particular playthrough, I would have to do quite a lot of shenanigans in order to compare. But yes. The German homeland has been established. Now, one thing I did kind of want to know is like, so we got what? Oh fuck, I would have to do some math here. Alright, I did the math. So we have about 38 million German pops combined. Well, I didn't actually count the Eastern Germans, but they are not very big, so I don't think they matter. I want to see, are we thicker? Yes, we are indeed thicker. So there are more Germans in this timeline than Americans. Fuck, how was this historically? Alright, so I did some more math and looked up the population of the United States in 1840, which was 132 million people, and if we times 32 or 38 million by 4 to get the total amount of people, then we can actually see that in this timeline there are more Germans than there were Americans at this point in history. So yeah, I guess we sort of achieved the potential point where in this timeline Germany would be not only a great power but a superpower, in that its population would surpass the Russian, it would surpass the American, and obviously nations like you know, India and China would overtake them at some point, but at least in the 20th century, or the second half of the 20th century, that historically in this timeline, or in our timeline, was like a Cold War between the superpower of the Soviet Union and the superpower of the United States. In this timeline, whoever is the other superpower, I guess it would still be the United States. At least in this timeline, the Germans would get to be one of those things. Because in many ways, we have done a lot of the same shit that the Americans did. Even in this campaign, the Americans in this playthrough started with... Well, we have expanded quite a lot more than the Americans have, but, the Americans also have, like, taken over a bunch of territory and, colonized it with their people. Our ways of colonizing were a lot more brutal and war crime related. Although, to be fair, I guess it would be fair to consider what the Americans did a war crime too. But now we're getting into discussions that are either trying to justify American expansion or trying to justify that this kind of shit would also be justified, which obviously none of them were. So don't do war crimes, kid. And if you have to do war crimes, at least keep them limited to Victoria too. Yeah. I guess on that note, we're going to wrap things up here. I guess feel free to suggest new nations in the comment section, although well, I don't know, don't be surprised if you get or disappointed in me not selecting that nation, because I might start another campaign tonight. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, I won't be able to read those comments. And I don't know, I want something chill after this. Something to just try out the new HBM, I think. Also, yeah, one thing I wanted to do before we wrap up. Let's see how Middle Africa looks if we just make that happen. Oh, they didn't get Egypt? Well, that's rubbish. But yeah, so this could potentially be a thing. Not sure. Oh, wait. Their population is 1.22k? No, it's not. Well, I would let a day go, but if I do, then it's just GG. So yeah, I guess we can still yeah. So it's 55. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, I guess we won't be able to know the ratios of Germans and shit here, but I don't know. Whatever. Let's wrap things up. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this episode, and also thanks so much for watching this Let's Play series in general. And until next time, bye.